Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chris Davis College Football Report Show. I am your host, Chris Davis. Another horrible weekend if you're a Florida State fan, and I am still and always will. There were some other teams besides my Seminoles that took it on the chin this weekend. Ole Miss lost a tough battle with them hungry dogs from Georgia. Tennessee came up short against Alabama. Tough Alabama team, probably playing, about as well as anybody in the country right now. Let's see who Mississippi State. Jeff Lebby, run the ball, okay? Next time, run the ball. All you had to do is run the ball, kick a field goal. You leave Gainesville with a loss. But it didn't do Billy Napier no favor because next day the Water Lizards let him go. And now they begin their search for a head coach. Then see Texas escaped Lexington with a win in a hard-fought game. And Vanderbilt took care of LSU this weekend. But first things first, as Max likes to say. Let me just say this about Coach Norvell. First of all, I like Coach Norvell. I thought he was going to turn things around at Florida State. Things seem to be headed in the back in the right direction. Okay. We lost a hard-fought game at Virginia, who's a good team. There's no shame in that. Then we lost to Miami. We came back. We showed some heart, but that comeback fell short. We were 3-2. Next up, Pitt. Well, we got Pitt. Well, beat Pittsburgh. We'll get some things right. We'll start running the 3-3-5 defense that everybody hates. And finally start guarding somebody and put a pass rush on a freshman quarterback. Well, the offense did their part. Defense, not so much. Things started to get bad. And I told everybody, I said, things are bad. We've lost 3 in a row. 3 good teams, especially Miami, who, by the way, lost to Louisville. Congratulations, Cardinals. But I did, and people started rumbling, well, Mike Norvell, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, my thought was, well, it's bad, but we cannot and should not lose to Stanford. If by some miracle we do, oh boy, you ain't got a leg to stand on, I don't think, Coach Norvell. And, well, what do? We flew all the way out to California and played horrible. A horrible team with their second-string quarterback and their second-string running back beat a team that beat Alabama just weeks ago. Make it make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. This is tough for me to say. Try not to be a bad guy. But I like Norvell. But it might be time for him to go. I know 90% of the fan base wants him gone yesterday. And Alford, the athletic director, came out and made things even worse Monday by saying, no, we'll wait till the end of the season to make a decision on Coach Norvell and the coaching staff, blah, blah, blah. in my humble opinion, if you're going to fire the guy, fire him now. It don't hurt our recruiting. He can go his way. Florida State goes theirs. It's not ugly. And just get it over with. You're going to at the end of the season anyway. By waiting, you're hurting recruiting. And but hey, he's the athletic director. What do I know? I don't know. But it don't make sense to me. And I hope Norvell, wherever he goes, he does great. But for whatever reason, sometimes it just don't work out. And it apparently hadn't worked out. I don't know why. Well, Danny Cannell, I heard him say that it kind of sounds like we must not have the money to get rid of him, or we would, or you would think. And I understand $50 or $60 million is a lot of money, but there's got to be some boosters at Florida State that got some money somewhere. You would think, but I guess not. What do I know? But anyway, it's a bad situation in Tallahassee. This would have been the perfect week to get rid of him. If we're going to, he's going to be fine. He's got $50 million coming his way. If we fired him, he'll be okay. They can, he'll be all right. So I don't know. We got an off week now. Here's the thing: every press conference, Norvell's going to hear about. Well, you're going to get fired, or you're not. Blah blah blah. And then next week at homecoming, at the Wake Forest game, I bet you $1 million as soon as his face pops up on that screen, and probably Tony White's too. When it does, he's going to have to listen to all them boos and all that mess, and it's going to be an ugly sight. But I mean, it is what it is now. But there's a lot of coaches across the current country. We're getting fired. Like I said, Billy Napier lost his job at Florida. And I guess they're going to try and get Lane Kiffin, but they're saying that Ole Miss is offering Lane Kiffin $13.45 million to stay in Oxford. That'd be good enough for me, stay in Oxford, Mississippi. Who else? It ain't just Norvell. There's a lot of coaches across the country that are under the heat. I think Hugh Freeze at Auburn, Bruce Kelly, his fan base ain't pleased with him, and rightfully so. It was a bad fit from the start with Brian Kelly. I don't think he should have taken the job at LSU. He just don't. I don't know. It just don't look right. But anyway, who else? They're on him and Dabo Swinney at Clemson. But I don't think they'll fire him. He better fire some of his staff, though, as Clemson took a big L at home, and their record's just as bad as Florida State. I think they've lost us more at home than we have. But anyway, ain't that something? What kind of world we living in? Clemson and Florida State are struggling. Vanderbilt's great. Oh, man, it's just too much sometimes, But anyway, having said all that, it's a new week. Florida State's off. Well, they'll rest their bones and get ready for Wake Forest. Well, here we go with my picks for this week. Game number 1, Mississippi State versus Texas. The Bullies coming off a tough loss in Gainesville. I think they'll bounce back, and I think they're going to beat Texas. I don't think Texas is worth the flip. They could have lost at stinking Kentucky, but anyway. But I just don't think Mississippi State's getting better. Somebody tell their quarterback, though, don't throw the football to a defensive lineman from the other team. It's bad. Then Chapin. But the Bullies win this week in a good ball game. It's going to be close, but I think the Bullies pull it out. Texas A&M. Oh man! After I'm picking Texas A&M. Well, first of all, Texas A&M is taking on LSU, and the Aggies are going to do it. I just think things are about to get bad in LSU. People don't want O'Brien Kelly to be there. He looks miserable, and the Aggies are a good ball club. But Texas A&M don't do any more of that. Faking your injury stuff because you'll get fined $50,000 as like you did last week. Vandy versus Missouri. This is a big game in the SEC. One of them, I'll say. But I think Vandy's a tough, hard-nosed ball club. Look, some of these schools that's going to be having jobs come open. They're going to be trying to get that coach at Vanderbilt. If he can win at Vanderbilt, just like James Franklin did, well, he can win here. And I think they're going to win a tough game with Missouri. Missouri's pretty good. But I just think Vandy's a little bit tougher and a little bit better. Ole Miss versus the Sooners from Oklahoma. Well, it's going to be played in Norman, and how will Trinidad Chambliss and the fellas handle the adversity now that it's sort of sunk in after the loss? In a good game with Georgia, they led for a lot of the game. They were up by like 10 points, I believe, at one time in Georgia. Can they go to Norman, regroup, and play a really determined and good Sooner ball club? I don't know. I'm going with the Sooners this game. Sorry, Ole Miss fans. Maybe next week, but I just got a bad feeling about it. Going all out to Oklahoma. That's two tough games in a row. Alabama, South Carolina. Alabama is playing Super Bowl. The best thing that happened to them was losing to Florida State, apparently. So they've been good ever since then. Ty Simpson's incredible. Ryan Williams actually had a really good game past Saturday against the Volunteers and did pretty good. Probably his best game of the year, I think. And I think Alabama's going to beat South Carolina. South Florida versus Memphis. Well, them Bulls, and I think they're going to beat Memphis. They're a tough ball club. To me, Memphis is more of a finesse ball club. They're good, both good, but I think South Florida is just going to be a little bit better than the Tigers, and South Florida beats Memphis. Auburn versus Arkansas. Well, this is going to be a close game, but as things sort of seem to be spiraling out of control at Auburn and Arkansas, who fired their coach, well, there's a lot of that going on. But anyway, since they brought Bobby Petrino back, the Hogs are doing good, and I think they're going to beat Auburn, and things are going to get even more heated for poor old Hugh Freeze. Tennessee versus Kentucky. Tennessee is a better ball club. It's just straight up, they're a better ball team than the Cats from Kentucky, and they're just a better ball team, and they got a better quarterback